let's start a new topic, that is your interest rate hedging. Now, within hedging, if I talk about, we talked about up till now, we talked about foreign exchange hedging. Now we are going to start a new topic, that is your interest rate hedging. Interest rate. Now, just a second. Talk about interest rate hedging. When I talk about foreign exchange hedging, guys, what is that we were discussing? Sir, what will happen if the currency exchange rate fluctuates and there is a risk that we want to minimize over there. Now, when I talk about interest rate hedging, what can happen over here? There are two situations. Let's say you have invested somewhere. Okay, you have invested somewhere. So what is the risk over here when you have invested? The interest rate might go down. That is the risk. If you would have borrowed from somewhere, if you have borrowed from somewhere, so what is the risk? That interest rate might go up. Correct. So there is always a risk that you as a company is facing in this situation as well, that you are facing over here, that the interest rate might go up and the interest rate might go down. So what we are going to do, everyone, we are just trying to hedge this risk. We are trying to hedge this risk. Now, what we will do, we will use certain hedging techniques. What were they? Again, the hedging techniques are going to be very much similar, everyone. Over here, we have like number of techniques. For example, we start with forwards. Then we go and solve futures. Then we have options. Options are very similar. We have swaps. The swap is different. Option का बेटा very similar. We have collar. We have swap, and then we have plus two more hedging techniques, which are your floor and ceiling. Now, floor and ceiling are more of a theoretical concept. Generally, they are not tested. Most of the time in your exam, they will ask you for the top hedging techniques, which are your futures, options, and swap. Sometimes forward as well. Most important technique over here is your futures. Sorry, most important technique over here is your future FRA. The important one. Okay, so let's start with the very first technique that we have, everyone, which is your forward exchange rate or forward rate agreement as well. The first technique that we have is forward rate agreement. Forward rate agreement. Now, as per this concept, the concept of forward rate agreement and the forwards in the currency hedging is almost the same. There is no difference over here. Even over here, you go and fix your exchange rate for a future date. That was forward when you go and fix your exchange rate. Over here, what do? You go and fix your loan rate or your interest rate today. You go and fix your interest rate today. Now let's take a look at the question. Remember a few points before we move on to the question. Over here, beta, the exchange rate will be given as, let's say, 2-6 equal to 7%. Always remember, there'll be two time period, or let's not talk about this one. Let's discuss one thing over here. 6 to 10%. Let's say this is given. Always remember the lower rate will be your investment rate. The lower rate will be your investment rate, and the higher rate will be your borrowing rate. and that's how the bank actually makes money. The lower rate is your investment rate and the higher rate is your borrowing rate. Okay, that is the first thing. But this rule will be applicable in all the forward rate agreements, that not just forward rate agreement, but all the interest rate hedging styles that we are going to talk about. Okay, this is the unsaid rule over here. Now, when I talk about forward rate agreement, let's take a question. Okay, let's say you are a company who is planning to take a loan, who is planning to take a loan of, let's say, 100 in a simple language. After 2 months, for a period of 3 months. For a period of 3 months. Okay. And then they will provide you with the different amounts and the hedging rates. For example, it is basically provided to you 2-3, 2-5, 3-5. 2-3 में बेटा what is the interest rate? 5.2. Over here 2-5 में it is, let's say, 5. 3-2 में it is 5.3. ठीक है. And now the question will always ask you what will happen. What will happen? I'm just saying that if after 2 months interest rate is, I'll give you two situations. One is 7% and the other would be, let's say, 3%. I'll give you two situations. Okay. Now, when you look at the question, everyone, the very first thing that you have to identify is your interest rate, forward rate, agreement. Which one to choose? Now, over here, if you look, guys, they have given you three: 2x3, 2x5, 3x5. Always remember that 2 after the first digit will be after how many months you are taking the loan. So, sir, I am taking loan after 2 months. So, first digit will be 2. And second digit will be when you are going to close it. And sir, I am taking it for period of 3 months. So, I am going to close it after 5 months. So, 2-5. Listen carefully once again. But I'm taking a loan after 2 months and I'm closing it after 3 months. So total will be how many months? Total will be how many months? 5 months, right? So that is what we are actually doing. 2-5. So what will be the correct forward rate agreement? 2-5. Although this is something that we do in the FM ka paper. This is something that we do in FM ka paper. So we don't have to worry much over here. Now let's solve this question. Let's say if I take a loan at the rate of 7%. Okay? So 7% of 100, I am supposed to pay interest at the rate of 7. But because I have taken a FRA of 5. But one more thing, it is for 3 months. So let us consider all the interest rates are of 3 months. Okay. I'll just put it in a bracket. All interest rates of 3 months are given. Otherwise, beta क्या होगा कि that 5% you have to divide by 12 and multiply by 3. Okay. Otherwise, what will happen? Whatever is the interest rate which is given to you, you will have to divide by 12 and multiply by 3. So this is something that you will have to do on your own. Please remember this thing. Please remember this thing while solving it in the exam. Okay. So interest rate should be 7, but you have taken a FRA. So because of FRA, your interest is going to be 5% of 100, which is going to be 5. So now your profit is how much? 2. Negative का 7, negative का 5, positive का 2. Okay. Now what will happen if my interest rate becomes 3? So my interest rate should be 3, but because of FRA, my interest rate is 5. Because of FRA, my interest rate is 5. Now, what is my loss or expense? I would say negative for 2. What is my loss or expense? Negative for 2. So this is how you are supposed to solve a question on forward rate agreement, everyone. Okay, so actually the thing over here is कि forward rate futures. Sorry. So now guys, the thing is कि this futures and options, generally in most of the questions, they will be solved together. So what I would suggest कि let us pick both the things together. That will be easier for us because कि without futures, you cannot go and solve options. So in whenever they give you a question on option as well, na, till step number 4 you have to solve. So that is why the examiner suggests us कि it is better to take future and option together. Okay, so now I hope that the question is visible to you as well. Up now.
Yes, sir, it's very.
Okay, so I want you to please keep the formula sheet that we have created at one place because I'll be using that to solve this question. Okay, a lot of things. Is it fine if I just short it down a little so that we can solve the question over here only? Is that fine?
Could you like size up a little bit, like I can zoom in and read? Okay, it's fine. Yeah, yeah, it's
Yep, that is fine now, I guess. That will be easy for me to just keep an eye on the question as well, right? So now there are like number of steps over here in the interest rate futures. First of all, sir, we have to find the number of contracts similar to the futures of, the options of money market, the foreign exchange hedging. Borrowing or the deposit amount upon the contract size multiplied by time period upon 3 months. 3 months is the constant. Find the basis risk. Now, what do we understand by basis risk? What is the word meaning of basis risk? Now, basis risk in a very simple language. If I talk about basis risk in a simple language, it means the difference between the spot price, spot का मतलब बेटा today's price and the future price. Spot का price and the futures price. ठीक है? That is called as basis risk. Then we have to find out unused basis. Tick value, tick beta, if you remember, we discussed in one of the last classes as well. And that's it. These are the important things that we have to worry. Now, beta, we have to go and solve for 7 steps over here and you will get whole marks. Now, if you look at this question, over here they are asking me to, based on the 3 hedging choices, Electro is considering and assuming that the company does not face any basis risk. Recommend a hedging strategy for the 22 million loan. Okay. Now, what are the 3 hedging techniques that we have? I can see futures over here. I can see options over here. Do we have any other? It must be that. Do you remember that forward rate agreement we talked about? Oh, there is a caller as well. कॉलर को तो बेटा अभी हमने डिस्कस नहीं किया है तो विल टॉक अबाउट 2 hedging strategies. futures and options. These two hedging strategies we are going to talk about over here in this question. Now, let's start solving this question. Number one step. Should I pick a new color? Let's take a blue. Step number one. Number of contracts. Keep an eye on the formula sheet. Whatever is the borrowing amount, 22 million, divided by contract size. Beta future का contract size is given over here 1 million. 1 triple 0 triple 0 multiplied by number of months. Beta for how many months I am taking the loan? Now please come back to the question. This will be upon 3. 22 million in 4 months time on first. मतलब after 4 months it is going to be first May that I'm going to take the loan. And I'm going to make a full payment 9 months from now. Just take a look. I'm going to take a loan after 4 months and I'm going to pay it after 9 months from now. So for how many months I'm taking the loan? Sir, I'm taking the loan for 5 months. As simple. Now, can you just calculate the total number of contracts over here? It is 36.6666 contract. So we will take up extra over here, which is going to be 37 contracts. Over here we take.
So why do we take extra? Like in previously we rounded down.
Correct.
Now we are rounding up.
Now why I'm doing that? Let me tell you. कि यार, if I take a little less over here, I'm not playing anything with the unhedged risk wala concept. Over there I had an unhedged risk. Ab over here I'm not doing that. That is why we'll take up an extra. 36.6 ko I'll convert into 37 contracts because I don't want to use that unhedged risk. Okay. So the number of contract is 37. Let's go for step number 2. That is your basis risk. Now, if you look very carefully over there in the basis risk wala formula, what does it say? Spot minus LIBOR minus future price. Ab look over here. Now the problem is that the interest rate could increase or fall by 0.5% in 4 months, and we are planning to protect ourselves from any interest rate fluctuation. Now the company can borrow at Ester plus 80 basis. Now please remember one thing. All these words like Ester, Sonia, then what did I use? LIBOR. All these are just the types only. मतलब whenever we have a pledge, hedge, or risk interest, pledge interest rate, we use these things. So now over here, what is LIBOR? Or LIBOR is nothing but Ester over here. Okay? Don't get confused. So plus 80 basis point and Ester is currently 3.3. Okay? Ester is currently 3.3. So now what we have to do is spot. Spot always remain 100. Spot is always 100 minus what is LIBOR? 3.3 because LIBOR and Sonia and Ester are the same. Should I make them equal to each other? That would be easy. For your question, all of these are equal. All of these are equal. Okay. 100 minus 3.3 minus futures price. Now just look over here. Should we take March ka future, June ka future, or September ka future? That is something we have to decide. Acha, now look. But after 4 months, it will be 1st May. After 4 months, it will be 1st May. So should we go and take the March ka future? No, sir. Why? Because March comes before May. So will it be of any use? No. So is it right if we take June? Is it right if we take June? Yes, sir. We can take June.
Yeah.
And why not September? Because we already have June, na? Why to take for September? We have to take for June. So June का future price is 96 point minus 96.16. So that will be equal to 96.7 minus 96.16. That will give me 0.54. Okay, step number 2 done. Let's go to the step number 3. Unused basis. Unused basis. Now, what is unused basis? Sir, whatever is the basis risk, 0.54 multiplied by total number of months upon extra months. Extra months upon total number of months, sorry. Up beta over here, after 4 months, it is going to be May. Just look carefully. It is given over here. Na? After 4 months, it is going to be 1st May. And we have taken for June. So, matlab, what is the total number of months? 4 months के बाद beta it is May. So June will be how many months? Sir, May, April and May. Then it will be June. We are already in May. So we'll have to add one more month and May. So total will be 6 months. Sir, how? Beta, after 4 months, I am reaching on 1st May. Then I will take complete May. That will become my 5th month. Then I will take complete June. That will become my 6th month. So total number of months will be 6. Now I needed it for May only. I needed it for May. But I am taking it for June. Yani how many extra months? Pura complete May, complete June. 2 months extra. How many months extra I am doing? 2 months extra. So what will be the unused basis? 0.318. 0.18 will be my unused basis. Okay. Now the next step is going to be the most important one. That will be your future closeout price. I'll start future closeout price from here. Future closeout price. Up over here, what is the risk that we are facing? That sir, interest rate might increase by 0.5% or it might fall by 0.5%. These are the two things. Correct. Either it might increase by 0.5 or it might decrease by 0.5. What we have to do? Sir, spot minus LIBOR. Now think carefully for a second. Beta, what will be my spot minus LIBOR? Spot is 100. Spot is 100. Minus. Beta, LIBOR was nothing but 3.3. Correct. But over here, it can increase by 0.5. So it will become what? 3.3 plus 0.5. 3.8. Because over here, it can increase. Over here, it can decrease. So any 3.3 minus 0.5. It will become what? 3.3 minus 0.5. It is 2.8. Correct. Now, I hope that this point is clear, everyone. This is very important. This is pretty important. Then you have to less unused basis. Now, if you look everyone over here, unused basis, sometimes you might have to add, sometimes you might have to subtract. Ab beta over here, if it was negative ka 0.54, then over here, it is always going to be negative. And since unused basis was negative, so negative would have become positive. But over here, 100 minus 3.3 is 96.7. So what is that we are getting over here? It is 96.7 over here minus 96.16. So my answer is coming out to be positive. So we don't have to worry. We can directly subtract. Or remember, or you can remember that basis risk is actually falling from spot to future. When I'm moving from spot to future, my basis risk is falling. That is why unused basis also needs to be subtracted. So you can remember it from any perspective. It's up to you. the important rule perspective says कि यार if over here my spot मतलब when I'm at a spot and when I'm moving to forward, listen, when I'm at spot and I'm moving to future, not forward, sorry, when I'm at spot and moving to future, my basis risk is actually falling. So over here I have to subtract. If it was increasing, then I would have to add. This is rule number one. Or you remember simple rule कि यार over here there will always be a negative sign. Up over here, if it is a negative, then negative will become positive. If over here it is positive, then positive negative is negative. So it is completely up to you. Whatever rule suits you, you can go and follow that rule. We don't have any problem. Now just do some calculation. Oh, sorry. 100 minus 3.8. Just give me a second, everyone. Okay. Step number 4 done. Now step number 5, we don't have to solve over here. Why? Because tick value is directly given to me. That is given as 25.
So your voice is breaking.
Is it fine now?
Could you speak again?
Yeah. So what I'm saying over here that the tick value we don't have to find out. Why? Because it is directly given as 25.
Okay,
Now
that's fine.
outcome of hedge, step number 6. One of the most important again. Outcome of hedge. Again, it can go up by 0.5%. It can go, here I'll do one thing. Go down by 0.5%. These can be the two outcomes, everyone, right? Either it can go up by 0.5 or it can go down by 0.5.
Like we have to do both the scenarios in a question.
Correct. अभी बेटा we are solving just futures.
Okay.
When I solve for options, again we have to solve for both scenarios and for both the options. That is the best part.
Uh,
Okay. Because in all,
okay.
we have to consider two exercise prices, right?
Awesome.
Okay. So now let's move forward. Outcome of hedge. What is the actual cost of borrowing? Now, actual cost of borrowing पे what is the loan amount? So 22 million multiplied by, now interest rate को बेटा ध्यान से सुनना. It was 3.3 plus 0.5 over here. 3.8. Now it was given that I can borrow at after plus 80 basis point. So 3.8 plus 0.8. How much it will become? 4.6 multiplied by 5 by 12. That will be my actual cost of borrowing. I'll write it down over here.
So like isn't the question, is it given like it will rise 0.5% will rise or it may also
It may
like
fall. That is why. That is given in the question. It may rise, it may fall.
so like won't our like we are borrowing here, right?
Yeah.
And if the interest rate falls, it will benefit us, right?
Yeah. But since it is
So
a
like
future, listen, it's a future. It's not an
okay, okay.
outcome. So we have to consider both the scenarios, right? What will happen if it falls?
Yeah,
What will happen if it rises? That is why.
okay.
Up over here, what will be the value? So 22 into 3.3 minus 0.5 plus 0.8. So 3.3 plus 0.8 will become 4.1 minus 0.5. How much it will be? 4.1 something. I don't forgot. So 3.3 plus 0.8. It will be 4.1 minus 0.5. 3.6 something into 5 by 12. Okay. What is the value that we are getting? Okay. Now, what is the gain or loss? That is the important calculation. ठीक है. Now, gain or loss, may remember the formula. If you just go back to the formula, it says future price minus future closeout price. What is the future price? So future price is 96.16 minus what is the future closeout price? 96.02, right? Multiplied by spot contract tick. Now remember, beta, just one rule. There's one rule. If you are investing का मतलब you are taking a call. Call का मतलब buy now, sell later. If you are borrowing, it means you are taking a put. Put means sell now, buy later. Correct? This is the rule. Now over here, what is that we are doing? We are borrowing. So we are borrowing का मतलब we are selling at this rate and we are buying at this rate. अब sell now, buy later. So if we sell at 96.16 and buy at 96.02, will we make profit or will we make loss? What will happen? Sir, we will make profit. Correct. So just solve it. And how much are you getting? 12950. Now over here, what will happen? These things will remain same. Just one change, that will be 96.16 minus future closeout price is 97.02. Now just think for a while. Sell now, buy later. What will happen? I am selling at this price and buying at this. Sir, I'm going to make loss. Correct? I'm going to make loss. Multiply by 100, multiply by 37, multiplied by 25. That will give me. Now just think, but since it is cost, both of these are cost. This is actually my cost. That is why I'm adding these two, because both of these are cost for me. But over here I'm subtracting the profit because this is cost and this is profit. What is the final amount that I'm getting? Step number 6. Now in step number 7, you just have to find out the effective interest rate. Effective interest rate. So if you just use your calculator, you will get your final answer.
So could you say like what amount you used for in the step 7? Like
Same,
what
same.
is the net cost of
Net. Now let's go with options. Options, I'll solve it in a different color. Let's pick options now. Now options पे भी बेटा, if you remember, if you just go back to the question, there are two options. ठीक है, 96 and 96.5. You will have to solve for both the questions. Remember that. अभी for the time's sake, I'll solve it for 96.5. For this question, I am solving it for 96.5. This one. Okay, let's start solving. Options page, there are certain steps that you have to always read. You have to write it down. Number one, exercise price of options. Step number 2, future closeout price. But it is very simple actually. Future closeout price. Number 3, should we exercise or not? Step number 4, gain in basis point. Gain in basis points only if it's yes above. Okay, step number 5, total gain. Step number 6 will be your actual cost of borrowing. Actual cost of borrowing. Step number 7 will be your premium payable. Okay. And step number 8 pay, again you have to solve for the effective interest rate. Effective interest. Okay. Up again, we have, you remember, we had two situations. Just draw a line over here. Line over here. Okay. So we had two situations. That was either there can be an increase of 0.5% or there can be a decrease of 0.5%. These can be the two situations. Now we go and just solve this question, everyone. Exercise price of option over here, it will be, sir, 9. No, just a second, everyone. Let me. Yep, that is fine. It can be 96.5. 96.5. Now, what is future closeout price? Sir, in case of increase, my future closeout price is 96.02. And over here, in case of decrease, it is 97.02. Now remember, beta, we are borrowing. So we have to sell at this rate, sell now, buy later. So will you sell at 96.5 and buy at 96.02? Yes, because we will make profit. Will you sell at 96.5 and buy at 97.02? No. Okay. What will be the basis point gain? 96.5 minus 96.02. That will be equal to 0.8, 0.48, sorry, 0.48. But because we are talking about gain in basis points, it will become 0.48 into 100. So always remember, you have to remove two double zeros. 48. Over here, there will be no gain. Why? Because I am not exercising. Total gain,
So how did we get that 48?
sorry,
So like we minus point like 5 minus 0.2.
it will become 0.48.
Okay.
Right. Now 0.48 is nothing, but in basis point it becomes 48. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now total gain. Total gain pe you have to remember number of whatever is the gain, number of contract tick. 48 into 37 into tick. So I'll do one thing. I should write down the formula. That would be better, right? So that will be gain multiplied by contract multiplied by tick. That will give you the final answer. Okay. Now that will be 48 into 37. 48, 37, 25. That will be how much? 44, 400. Over here it will be 0. This is gain. Now, what is the actual cost of borrowing? Sir, I don't have to calculate it because we have already done that. 421,666, and over here 33. Now, premium payable. is something that we have to again calculate. A premium payable में beta, if you look, coming back to this part, we are borrowing का मतलब we are taking a put, first thing, and it is of June, तो June का put, second thing, and it is 96.5, so this is my premium. If you remember, whenever I take an option, I have to pay a premium, right? So over here, what is the formula for that? I'll write it down over here. Premium multiplied by contract multiplied by tick multiplied by spot, which is 100. Okay. Now go back and just try to solve it. 0.581 multiplied by 37 multiplied by 100 multiplied by 25. Over here, it will be 0.581 multiplied by 37 multiplied by 100 multiplied by 25. And again, same thing will be over here as well, right? Same thing will be over here as well. So it will become, so now what will be the final amount, everyone over here? You have this amount, this amount, this amount, this amount, and over here we have this amount as well. So I will add these two and subtract this one. Why? Because but this is profit, and profit ko I have to subtract. So it will become, okay. Now when you go and calculate, since I remember this thing, you will find out कि यहाँ पे बेटा effective interest rate is little different. ठीक है? It is coming out to be 4.7. Now, generally 90% beta options, maybe you will get the same answer. You will get the same answer. But over here, it is one of the question, but in some of the questions, it will not match. So you don't have to worry much, sir, why it is not matching, what is wrong. If it matches out, then it means that it is 100% correct. Even if it doesn't match it out, there means there is something on the interest side that is not correctly accumulated in the question, so you don't have to worry much. ठीक है? It मतलब the examiner will provide you full marks for this thing. Okay. Now if you have any doubts, Rafael.